Oh, the U.S. Open. It is shaping nicely. Legends are in the game. Lots of good tennis being played. Dominic Thiem breaking through, beating Kevin Anderson today. A little bit of an upset, you would think, on the hard court since Thiem pretty much been a clay court specialist and has had trouble breaking through. But one of the things is now that they're slowing down the hard courts, it does seem that it's turning almost more into clay court tennis. Look how far Dominic Thiem's able to stand way back against the fence. This is like a new development. He's staying way back against the fence and returning Kevin Anderson's serve. You see Nadal doing the same thing. It seems like a new play. But what I want to talk about today is the imminent matchup. The two titans going at it, Novak Djokovic versus Roger Federer, right? They don't really have a major threat in the way with Millman and Sousa, I don't think. I mean, does anybody think that possibly Djokovic or Federer will lose in the next round? I don't believe so. Thiem even said it was like clay after he beat Kevin. Yeah, so the big servers clearly at a big disadvantage when you're able to stand basically against the fence on a hard court and return the ball. Normally, in past years, you would get aced off the court. But since it is playing more like clay, and these players are also getting faster, it seems like, at chasing down balls and cutting off angles, that the big servers are not able to serve. Have I figured out a way to get money off YouTube? Just curious. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what that comment is. Anyway, I want to talk about, have I figured out a way to get money off YouTube? Well, we're not going to talk about that. This is Djokovic versus Federer. That's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about that. And I want to know what you guys think. Who's going to win that match? Who's going to win that match, guys? You just a couple weeks ago, Djokovic put a pretty big beat down on Federer. And the key stat of the match was Federer just was not returning. Federer was just not returning Djokovic's second serve. So John says that Joker is going to win. Joker is going to win the matchup. And I don't know. It's going to be tough. Here's one of the things that I always think is when you are evenly matched and you just beat somebody, you typically don't want to play them again a couple weeks later. That's always a hard mental thing to do. Okay, Kieran says Roger. So we have one Roger vote, one Joker vote. Let's just really talk about what the conditions are going to be like. Now, it does seem like the heat is dying down a little bit. I'm sure Fed was missing some makeable shots against Kyrgios, yeah? It's not even a matchup. Djokovic wins in 3 sets. Djokovic wins in 3 sets is a prediction out there. Okay. It could happen. You could say that Federer was missing shots against Kyrgios, but you handle Kyrgios in 3 straight sets. That's a good win. I think all of the top dogs are playing well. I think Federer's playing well. Maybe he's not playing his absolute best. Djokovic looks really strong. Rafa Nadal looks very strong. Although last time I looked, he was in a tiebreaker in the 3rd set after winning the first 2 sets. But I'm not worried about that. Does anybody know, is that match over? I assume Nadal probably handled that in 3 sets. But you would think that Djokovic is going to have the advantage here. In my mind, Djokovic has the mental and physical advantage at this point. He has won Wimbledon. He just won Cincinnati, so he's feeling good about that. And then also the other mental advantage is we know that the courts are playing slow. The courts are playing like clay courts, which favors Djokovic. The ball is bouncing higher than normal. Federer likes a court that's faster, where the ball goes through the court a little more. Okay, so in these baseline rallies, it's advantage Djokovic. Being able to chase balls down. Did you guys see how many balls that Thiem today was chasing down against Kevin Anderson? With a one-handed backhand, no less. He was running from side to side, hitting open stance one-hand passing shots. So I think if you're just looking at a stylistic play, and if you're gonna give the surface a lot of thought, the surface definitely is favoring Djokovic. The mental and physical advantage are favoring Djokovic. Obviously, age is favoring Djokovic. Now, what Federer has going for him is payback, revenge. He's going to want to get revenge after losing a couple weeks ago. That's That's a big motivator, and Federer is a champion. He's won 20 times. I assume this match is going to be played at night. Does anybody know if it's going to be a night or daytime match? That would be cool. I don't know how far in advance you can look to tell if it's going to be a night or daytime match. I think if it's a nighttime match, that's a big equalizer for Federer. Federer loves playing at night at the U.S. Open. Djokovic's team put 11 kilos of muscle back on him. John, that's huge. Djokovic was getting too small, too frail, and he was not hitting through the court. Now he is, even though he looks pretty damn thin still. I just got back from Cincinnati. I mean, if he put 11 pounds back, he was way too thin because, you know, he still looks very, very thin. But that is a big deal that he has been able to put that back on. The only thing Fed has going for him is people think Fed has a chance, but Fed knows inside he has no chance. I'm not going to agree with that. And I'm going to put this down to see if I can maybe do this. See if I can do this. Okay. I don't think Federer thinks he has no chance. Guys, come on. He's won 20 majors. He's a champion. No champion goes in thinking they have no chance. I think when they get out there, I think sometimes Federer, more than the other guys, more than Rafa and more than Djokovic, really shows his nerves and sometimes gets a little bit where he shanks shots in key moments. But he's also delivered a lot. When you play so much tennis as Federer's done and been in so many big matches, you're going to show a little weakness sometimes at some key moments. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. So I want to see a great match. I don't know what's going to happen because I think a lot of this depends on Federer. I think we know what we're going to get from Djokovic. I think Djokovic is going to, because of the pace of the court, because Djokovic has got confidence, because he feels healthy. I think we know what we're going to get from Djokovic. He's going to play solid. He's going to play high percentage tennis. He is going to make a lot of great gets. It's really going to be on Federer's racket. And that's where the pressure comes in. You know, when Federer has just been able to beat Nadal the last 5 times they played, the match is always on Federer's racket. If Federer can execute, hit through his backhand, get to the net effectively, get in good position at the net, and put his volleys away, then Federer, you know, has the advantage. You know, Federer is going to be dictating play. It's going to be all about, is he going to be consistently dictating play and finishing points, or is Djokovic's tenacity going to force Federer to miss shots? His team told him he was too skinny. Djokovic is thin. His clothes from Lacoste are baggy style. Is not thin. Well, Djokovic, I saw him in a tight shirt the other week. He was very, very thin. I hope the game goes 5 sets, says Miguel. Then Nadal wins in the final. Great match. Nadal is looking like the favorite to me. His match against Khachanov was one of the best I've seen in a long time. Khachanov to play as well as he did and not win a match, to not win that match must have been just like heartbroken, although he seemed like he was pretty happy with his performance in the press room. But do you know that the stat in that match, can you guys guess what percent of points? Nadal won in 4 sets. He played incredible. Khachanov was amazing, John. What percent of points do you think Nadal won to win the match? This is a pretty good question. What percent of points do you think Nadal won? He won in 4 sets. John guesses 52%. No, Nadal won 50.9% of the points. So it was basically an even match. Bernard Tomic is playing right now in Mallorca. Oh my gosh. Wow. Come on now. Let's not talk about Bernard Tomic on this. We've got a great U.S. Open. We've got a great U.S. Open. And we've got a lot of matches. We've got a lot of matches right now to really look forward to. You got Isner versus Raonic today. That's going to be a big matchup. You know, Isner has had a hell of a year, okay? Isner has had a hell of a year. You got to give this guy credit. He's won Miami on hard courts. He almost got to the finals of Wimbledon. Peter, whether Rogers' performance against Kyrgios would give him a slight edge over Novak Djokovic. Kieran, that's what we're talking about. I don't know if his match against Kyrgios gives him an advantage. I think both players are playing with extreme confidence right now. I think that was a big win to beat Kyrgios in 3 sets. That lets us know that all the top guys are performing at a really good level. So I'm hoping Federer needs a good start, says Joel. Absolutely. I think it is much more important for Federer to come out and feel confident, to get in a rhythm, to not give away an easy break in the beginning than it is for Novak Djokovic. I think Novak Djokovic could afford to get off to a slow start and then eventually find a rhythm and get really, really consistent. We're just going to have, if you're a Federer fan, which I am, although I'm a Djokovic fan too, but I am more rooting for Federer. And so I'm hoping that Federer gets off to a good start. I'm hoping that he feels the rhythm. I'm hoping that he is able to find an effective way to get to the net and put the ball away. And I'm hoping that Djokovic is a little bit off on his defensive game. I'm hoping that his passing shots are just a little off and they're in Roger's strike zone. And that he's not getting that extra ball back. What he did in Cincinnati to Roger is he put a lot of pressure on Roger. He made Roger go for too much. There was lots of times where Roger was dictating the point, and against anybody else it would have been a winner, or the next ball at least would have been an easy put away. And Djokovic not only gets that ball, but he puts the point back to neutral. Sometimes. All right, sorry about that. If you lose me, I'll be back, okay? Because sometimes the lives go out, but. We need to see a new okay, that's a big comment. I just came back and I see we need to see a new generation, and that's the thing that continues to disappoint, doesn't it? I mean, you see all these talented players at the beginning of a tournament. Tsitsipas disappointed me this year. I really want to see him do well. Kachanov, you can't blame him. He put up a hell fight against Nadal. But Zverev, who keeps getting these high seeds in tournaments, he keeps disappointing. Lost to Philip Kohlschreiber. If you're going to be a champion, you have to beat Philip Kohlschreiber. You just do. So all these young guys keep disappointing. And yeah, Zverev, he lost to Kohlschreiber. Exactly. Zverev is talented. Don't say he is talented. But everybody on tour is talented, by the way. Everybody on the tour is a freak of nature. Let's face it. But there are just too many of these young guys. I've talked about this a lot. It's going to be an empty space when Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer call it quits because there's no real champions. It's going to be like handing over the tour to a scab team. I've said this many, many times, and it gets more and more scary because it just gives even more appreciation about how amazing that Federer and Djokovic and Nadal are, that they consistently keep winning and winning and winning. And you can see from the other guys, the rest of the tour, it keeps showing you it's not easy to win all the time. It's not easy to win this much. So what they are doing, we're becoming, I guess, maybe spoiled as fans or have unrealistic expectations. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but ever since I've been a kid, you've always had this next generation come and just literally push the top dogs off the mountain. When I was a kid, McEnroe pushed Borg off the mountain. Then Lendl came and pushed McEnroe off the mountain. Then Sampras and Agassi came and pushed Lendl off the mountain, and Sampras dominated. And then, then Federer came around. And then Nadal came and started pushing Federer around, and then Djokovic got in the mix. So it's weird not to see anybody else get in the mix. It is really bizarre that it's gone this long. With Kyrgios as a coach, he needs a brain transplant. Ivan Lendl might have a good, we'll see. Eugene Bouchard, I don't know. I don't know about the next gen, and I usually get really upset about it, but I'm not going to even worry about it. I'm going to enjoy that Djokovic is back. I'm enjoying that we have this Federer-Djokovic matchup, and my only hope for it is that I would love to see it go 5 sets. I would love to see it just be an absolute battle. I'd like to see Federer win. If Djokovic won, though, look at everything Djokovic's been through in the last year, and if he came back and won, I would again be excited for him. I really love Djokovic. I think he's great for the fans. I know some people don't like Djokovic, but even the other day they showed this video of Djokovic, hanging out with the fans, taking selfies. He grabs their camera and smile. I mean, behind the scenes, if you don't really follow him and look at YouTube, look at how cool Djokovic is to the fans. Now, I'm not saying Roger's not. Roger's great to the fans too. Peter, hope that's just bullshit word. It's got no meaning around here. What? Peter, I hope. I don't understand what your point is. Djokovic is the absolute beast. So and underrated. I mean, I don't know if Djokovic is underrated, guys. I really don't know. Djokovic got rid of. I think that's one thing. Djokovic going back with his old coach. I think his coach does not deserve enough credit for everything he's done for him, and has Djokovic playing just like in the olden days. So I'm looking for a good match. If I had to bet, if someone said, Pete, you've got to put money on this. You got to put your next month's mortgage or rent on it. Maybe disliked is a better term. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Djokovic is too disliked in my mind. But if I had just to leave you guys, if I had to put money on this, I just think that Djokovic is going to be, and we have a consistency course out. This is the last day for it. But and not even a plug, but I mean, Djokovic, it's hard to bet against people who always get the ball, one more ball back. And not only do they get it back with, they just do some amazing things from a defensive perspective. And with the court being a little slower, it just makes Roger's job just so hard to consistently have to hit winners and be forcing the play. And you think it's only a matter of time before he just breaks down a little bit. So I'm hoping for a good match, and I'm picking Djokovic. So let me know what you guys think. It's a fun debate. Give this video, before you leave today, give this video a thumbs up. We only got a couple thumbs up. I am picking Djokovic. I think whoever wins this match will go to the finals of the U.S. Open. I think they will face Rafa Nadal. And I think Rafa Nadal will win this U.S. Open. So, guys, let me know what you think. I think that Rafa Nadal is going to win. I think Djokovic is going to beat Federer. I think Djokovic will then end up in the finals against Rafa. That is my pick. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. If you've not ever subscribed to our channel, we do lots of tennis instruction, and we talk about the tour. And also, don't forget to check out Matt's Coffee Break Tennis. He's just made a couple. People have been wondering, where is Matt? He's just made a couple new coffee breaks, so make sure you go out and check them out. I'm sure Matt will not like this prediction. He might punch me the next time I see him. But I can only go with my gut. It doesn't mean I'm right. I actually hope I'm wrong. I hope Federer wins. But I am going to go with Rafa. I'm going with Joker. And then Joker's going to play Rafa, and Rafa's going to win. And Rafa is very, very close. He's getting very close to Federer's 20, and that will open up a whole new can of worms. He won't punch you very hard. No, he won't. He won't. He won't. He better not. All right, guys, thanks so much for checking this out, and we'll see you on another live stream.